everybody? Turn this shit down. I gotta stop cussing. So I can get back in the algorithm. YouTube, I'm sorry for cussing. I just likes being real. But I did a review on my channel. YouTube was like, yeah, you don't cuss as much as you used to, but you're still cussing. I was raised by my grandfather, man. That's how I was raised by my parents. My grandfather was he was a very important part of my raising. And I was raised in a world that you get told the real through people cussing. It's just, I don't know. Something about people who cuss have always, looking back on my life, those have been the ones that told me the realest stuff. All of the people who try to stay clean, and I don't curse, and I only drink water, and I'm in physical shape, those be the most full of it people you would ever want to meet. Listen to me like, oh, my body fat is at 5%, and I don't curse, and I don't drink, and I don't smoke. I don't do any of those vices. Okay, nigga. You got a whole side family, and don't take care of them either. We live in a world, don't we? But anyway, welcome everybody. What's up, everybody? What's up, Ariel Smoke? What's up, Larry? You said they found Karmelo guilty? Oh, Lord. I might have to change the subject up. Let me see. Man, it ain't no... Oh, yeah. They did. Oh. It looks like we might have to change the title. Y'all want to talk about that? Oh, shit. Let me see here. Apparently, this just came in. Yes, thank you, chat. I ain't even paying attention to it. C. Diggs say no. So, let's talk about it we'll talk about it real fast. I'll just add it to what we're going to talk about. I'm not going to not talk about our other topics, but I will add it to this topic, okay? I will add it to this topic. So I'm getting both. I'm getting yeses and nos. So I'm gonna keep what we're gonna talk about, and I'll add this to the. But I'll talk about Karmelo first. Next, I'll talk about Karmelo next. Let's talk about what we came to talk about, and then we'll get to Karmelo. Because I'm gonna read it, and because this actually plays into what we're gonna talk about anyway. The primary thing I want to talk about is, let me see. Yeah, the primary thing I want to talk about is Elon Musk going white supremacist. Let me show y'all this real quick, and then we'll get to it. Have y'all noticed Elon Musk's Twitter page? They're trying to start a race war, people. They really are. They're playing with us. This Karmelo thing, I'm gonna drop the hip hop media topic. Let me see here. I'm going to change the title. There we go. There we go. Yeah, you didn't miss much. I'm just getting started. Like news breaks. I gotta go with the news breaks. I gotta go with the news break. Y'all. But this goes into what I was talking about for a long time. You see what Elon Musk is doing. He has this meme that he put up today, this post. The truth is there are vastly more hate crimes, and he's been getting these fake stats. And he's been doing this for a long time, all year, ever since Elon bought Twitter. You notice how he's been making it all about blacks and it's different when the richest man on earth is saying these things than some random redneck. Elon Musk doing stuff like this is what makes it to where that Asian guy can get off for murdering a black person, and it makes it to where Karmelo can get found guilty for defending himself. Y'all see how that works? You not only have the imagery issue in America, the imagery plays into something. The imagery does something. What does the imagery do? What does the negative imagery do? The negative imagery creates conditions to where this is the damn near guaranteed outcome for a case like Karmelo Anthony. This is a guaranteed outcome when you got the richest man doing this. So now let me go to the case. Let me see what they say here. Let's go to the news and let's see if there's anything going on in the courtroom of Karmelo. Let's see if there's any live news going on right now. Let's cut to the live news. Let's go with...
or another about this case, and I think all of the elements were there to have this kind of a reaction. We just didn't know what side it was going to come from, but that's something that law enforcement there on the scene has also been monitoring as well. Explains some of the details that Andrea was giving us from the beefed up security, the law enforcement, the barricading that's going on, and quite frankly, even the limited access that they gave us, members of the media. They didn't allow any cameras inside. They allow some members of the media, it's limited, but all they can do is report back, meaning they got to get on a phone, on a laptop, and let us know what's going on inside there. But we don't have eyes and ears. Typically, a case of this profile, this high profile, we do have eyes and ears inside the courtroom, but that's not the case right now.
Right, and a lot of times judges will do that because of prior court cases, some very notable prior court cases where
y'all ain't talking about shit.
Just not a...
What other news channels on? Let's see what's going on.
That was his goal, and at this rate, well, certainly now the verdict's returned. At this rate, they'll be done with punishment before the weekend.
Oh, absolutely. I think, many of my colleagues here that we've been speaking with from other outlets who have been covering this from day one, we certainly knew that the judge wanted a tight timeline. He said from day one that he was going to go from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. He stuck to that. And in fact, he held testimony all day on Saturday. I was here for that as well. He went from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And that was when the prosecution rested. Midday or about 3 p.m. on Saturday is when the prosecution rested. We were surprised because we knew that there was 35 witnesses that were expected to testify. They ended up resting after the medical examiner
so they just running their mouth.
Only called 21, but obviously they felt like they made the...
They just running their mouth. So let's just talk about it from my point of view. Let's just talk about it, then we'll cut back to the news. Let's talk about it from my point of view. So yeah, we have all this shit happened right after I hit live. But okay, we roll with it. 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 This is what I want to say. Pay attention to the full landscape. Don't focus on Karmelo's trial. This was to send a message. This was a message. When you have Rick Chow innocent, non-white American, non-white American, non-black American, a people of color American, and Asian. Asians are the new people that America is bringing in to be the leadership and rulership class. Make that very clear. Asians are being brought in to rule over us and the Latinos. That's what they're being brought in for. You get to see one of them murder a black child that didn't steal anything, he ran, but didn't steal anything. And he got shot and killed. He got shot and killed and got found innocent. That was last week. That was last Monday, last Tuesday. Now Karmelo apparently went in to hide from the rain. They saw Black America raise all this money for him and his family. They're trying to incite a race war. Okay? They're trying to get us emotionally charged. Black people, let me say something real clear. This ain't nothing to get emotionally charged over. The only reason why we even knew about this case was for this result. See, what happened was the murder, George Floyd's murderer got found guilty. The Breonna Taylor in around about 2020, you started seeing somewhat justice getting served. And what happened? What were black people saying? Oh, there's finally progress. Press number 3, chat. If you've been hearing that, those Biden years, late Trump years, because people started getting found guilty when Trump was first in office. You saw a couple guilty verdicts. You saw a couple of times where it went black people's way. And we had our Boulay class. We had the Al Sharptons of the world. We had the Tiffany Crosses and the Angela Ryes and the Van Joneses of the world saying that we are seeing progress in America. Right? That's the word they get us on, progress. No. This stuff is cyclical. That's like when you see something let's say you see a tire coming around and the tire is moving forward and in the top of the arch of the tire. Is that progress? When you're at the motion at the top of the arch from when a tire is moving forward? Is that progress? Or is that just part of the cycle? Part of a cycle, that's why I call it a cycle, a system. When you're at an up arch and things look like, appears that they're going forward, that's only temporary. Any black person talking to you about progress is lying to you. Mark Lamont Hill, all these people, these progressives. There's no such thing as progress. The key isn't for progress. The key is to stop the fucking cycle. You don't want progress. You want to end the shit. There's no such thing as progress. That's the crap that they sold to us when Obama was in office. Oh, we're going to get progress. Oh yeah, there's progress. Yeah, we're not where we want to be. But we're getting there. And if we keep going, we're going to have progress and more progress. Progress by nature is a temporary thing. it cycles back. This is a cold reminder. And it's cold, not cold to me, because I'm whatever to me. But it's a cold reminder to the progress people that no, you ain't nothing get better. Let's go to Court TV. Look at this.
Hey, be safe, brother. You got anybody with you? No. Well, if you're close around, I'll keep an eye out, man. I'll keep an eye out.
Court TV. This is a Court TV. People, for the most part, are calm. Okay. Oh shit! Y'all hear the Christian out there?
To go to hell for all eternity. Today is the day to give your life to the Lord.
Somebody recruited for Jesus out there. They said, let's protest against sin.
Slain before the foundation of the world was laid. Today is your opportunity. Tomorrow you may not get it. Life is passing away. Life
there she go.
fleeting. Everything you see is temporary. Your clothes are temporary.
Why you always got a nigga
your
preaching?
Your is temporary.
Oh, hell no.
Your career is temporary. Your money.
Man, if you don't get this fat Fantasia out of here.
That with you on the day of judgment. You're going to leave it all.
It would be a skunk haired. Come on.
Time invested in something that is temporary. But that which is eternal.
No disrespect to the Christians out there. It's not a. I'm not here to disrespect the Christians, but come on, bruh. White folks had justice for Austin. Look at this. You know what this also is, black folks? You know what this is? See, look at this chess play. The white supremacists, these are the people that the power structure relies on. Understand that. The power structure has broken in this color-coded thing where they have a white class, that's the enforcement class. They needed to be reminded of their status.
Of murder by a jury of 12. They took less than 3 hours to deliberate before rendering their verdict for the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf during a school track meet. After the verdict was read, they went immediately into the penalty phase. The same jury that found Karmelo Anthony guilty now will decide his penalty. The range is anywhere from 5 years up to 99 years. They are currently on a break, a quick recess before they enter the charge conference where the jury will be given some instructions before sent back to the deliberation room to decide Karmelo's fate, basically. Both sides said no to the opportunity to address the jury during the sentencing phase. They could have done an opening statement, could have called witnesses, and could have done a closing argument. Both sides said no to the arguments in the statement. The only witness that was called was from the defense. It was Karmelo's mother, who briefly testified, saying that she loved her son, he was her firstborn, and she pleaded with the jury to please have mercy on her son.
That's all they brought up?
The state came back with a short cross-examination to say, well, you love your son, don't you? And you'll always love him, no matter what, correct? Insinuating that a long prison sentence is not a problem. He'll always have his mother's love. So now it'll be up to this same jury. We're digesting the verdict and looking to these next steps. And we're also monitoring what's going on outside of the courthouse here in McKinney, Texas. A large gathering has assembled. And this has been a version of what we've seen each and every day of this trial. However, there are more people. Our Cody Thomas said today, as the case wound down, the closing arguments were presented and the jury received the case, the crowd started to grow, and that's where we're at now. The initial reaction, of course, with many in attendance was disappointment, but there were others there who were undoubtedly pleased. Both sides have been represented outside of the courthouse. Judge Kimberly Bando is with us, along with Sonny Slaughter. We've been all watching this play out through the eyes of our Cody Thomas, because again, there's no camera in this
Probably
courtroom.
one coon and one halfway real one.
It is hard to understand the defense strategy here in the penalty phase.
And look at the fake sympathy from the white dude.
Both of you shaking your heads. Sonny, you first. Real opportunity to bring Karmelo to life. You know, he didn't testify. That makes a difference. He's a young man, and it just seems with his
white boy flipping cartwheels on the inside.
3.7 grade point. Going, you know, he had
the host in the middle. Inside his mind, he flipping cartwheels right now. He like yippee. But on the face, he was like, "Oh my God, the tragedy! I'm going to bring these black women on
the jury,
and we're
listen,
going to talk about
this before you go back there." Didn't happen, Sonny.
No, it didn't happen. And the mother, she is being a mom, but she really should have been prepped to really talk to the
like Oprah a little bit, don't she?
And the jury about not just who her son was.
She looked like Oprah had Oprah stayed working for the news in Chicago.
Thinking he did the unthinkable, but that's not who my son is. And none of them were there. None of us were there. And we don't know what actually happened. We only know what people perceive to have happened, but that's not my child. My child has deep regret. My family has deep regret. He is a scholar. He has the opportunity to turn his life around. She needed to be talking about her son in the future to get them to see who he could be outside of this. And she was not prepped and ready for that. What she said was not enough to change anything. She also should have been speaking to the fact that what is going to happen.
All right, we'll get back. So yeah, I'll get back to the news when I hear something interesting going on. So let's go back to it. We're in an America where, like, go back to Elon Musk tweets. Ask yourself, why does Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, talk so much about race? All of this ties in at the time we're at in America. What did I say in the card reading for the year? This is the year of the fade. Direct confrontation. Saturday, we're going to do a reading show. We're going to catch up on all this. But go back to Elon Musk. Why is he always talking about race? And why is it that Elon Musk, how is it that the richest man on the planet can spend all day on Twitter? How is it that Donald Trump can attend basketball games and have wrestling events on the White House lawn? These people that we see, they don't run anything. Elon Musk doesn't run anything. Trump doesn't run anything. Elon Musk is a wealthy investor, and the brain power would do all the work. But for these people to maintain their power, they need and depend on race divisiveness. Look at him talking about fraud. Why is Elon Musk concerned with LA anything? He not here in LA. And SpaceX, the SpaceX that's here, is not in LA, it's in Hawthorne. So he ain't even gonna worry about LA. Cause it's a black mayor running. Elon Musk depends, Donald Trump depends on this racial divide. And the people that are the beneficiaries of racism, white supremacy, slightly, they've been very, very, very marginalized in their own mind. They've been feeling left behind. Go back to when Kendrick got in the Super Bowl. Remember how salty they were at Kendrick being in the Super Bowl? You follow that up with Bad Bunny being in the Super Bowl. White America feel like it's lost its control of things. They really feel that way. Karmelo Anthony was a sacrificial lamb for he was a sacrifice. He was an emotional boom to their fragile psyches. That Chow guy. Remember, America, people around the world, their unity is in their focused, centralized hatred of Black America. The Asian diaspora does not get along. China hates Japan and vice versa. But when they come to America and come into our neighborhoods, it's all peace because we are the target. Latin America hates itself. Mexicans hate Puerto Ricans. Oh, Mexicans really hate Guatemalans and El Salvadorians. They can't stand them motherfuckers. They come to LA, they find a way to work together though, against us. When we are the thing that gets other groups to work together. That's what we are. The Chinese forget about the Chinese Exclusion Act. The Chinese forget about them working railroads and being shot on paydays, shot and killed. There was a case here in California in 1847, I think it was. 57, I learned this in college. Where they shot and killed. What they found was when the Chinese were building railroads here in California, what they found was the Chinese, they were like these massive grave sites. They kept coming to missing, and they kept having to bring in more Chinese workers. And what they found was when it was payday, what the white men would do was shoot and kill them. So they never got even put on trial, never got arrested. The first time a white man was put on trial for killing an Asian, do you know what he said when the judge asked him, why did you kill him? Because what they would do is they would hang the Chinese up by their pigtails along tree branches and shoot them. What the man said was, I only shot him because I wanted to know if it's true that Chinese bleed yellow blood. That was a real court case where a white man said, I only want to know I just wanted to see if they bleed yellow blood. And the judge said that was a reasonable defense. And he got like a week, he had to spend the rest of the weekend in jail, and he was released because the judge deemed that a reasonable defense. Do you know the reason why there are more Chinese in New York than San Francisco? San Francisco's way closer. They all come by that boat across the Pacific. Why is there more Chinese in New York than San Francisco? Because in California, of how the Chinese were murdered and killed, the Chinese decided to move to New York, move to the East Coast to get away from California. Why am I talking about the Chinese? Look at that Chow guy. Did he have that in his mind when he shot that black kid? When he shot them 2 other black people? All that history is forgotten on how they were treated. It's all forgotten and it's all forgiven over a centralized hate of us. Pay attention to that. That goes back to, why is Elon Musk so racist? Why is the most racist man in the world, the richest man in the world, spending his time on social media talking about black people? And this is weekly. Look at this one Elon Musk had put up. Some African Caribbean dude killed some folks. And look at Elon Musk. What's making them do this? Why is the richest man in the world pressing race? I think we know the answer. This here, Karmelo Anthony being found guilty, was exactly what the system needed, because people like Elon Musk, people like Donald Trump, they depend on the racial divide. And I want to say this real fast too before I even go into it. Usually when you have racial divide talks, y'all notice when you talk about an Anton Daniels, when you listen to a Kwame Brown, when you listen to a Charleston White, when you listen to these kind of Negroes, Officer Tatum, they always put the onus on black people. Anton Daniels be coming around. The problem is black people. We got to understand that it's not time for us to go around and be fighting nobody. It's not time. They always put it on us. We understand this principle. It's us. We understand that it is about money on a second level. Because Anton Dale also say, it's not about race. We ain't got time to talk about race. It's about money. It's economic. Every time, it's going to be the economics. It's not going to be about race. Ooh, my head hurt doing that cross-eyed shit. Ugh. Y'all notice that? This is what you say to people who say it's not about race, it's about economics. Saying it's not about race, it's about economics is like saying life isn't about air. It's not about blood. It's about the air that you breathe. It's not about your blood. As long as you're breathing, you're going to be fine. As long as you're breathing. Well, what about my circulatory system? Well, what's more important is the endocrine system. Well, what about my digestive system? In order for your body to work, all of the systems must be in play. You have, and it's all interconnected. You have your cardiovascular system, blood and oxygen. The digestive system breaks down food. The endocrine system secretes hormones. The lymphatic system, the muscular system, the nervous system, the reproductive system, the respiratory system, the skeletal system. It's a fact that all of these systems exist at the same time. The same way the economic system exists at the same time as systematic racism. You see how that works? Y'all see how that works? These systems are interconnected and they work together. The economic system is dependent on the racial hierarchy system. The economic system is dependent on the racial system. Let me tell y'all again. The economic system depends on the system of racism. If Elon Musk can have everyone up in arms about race, he can have all those same people ignoring the fact that he's a government welfare queen. Look at the people who pay attention to Elon Musk, who like Elon Musk. They pay attention to the Elon Musk crowd. He'll point them to black people saying, look at these people. We need to get them off welfare. We need to get these people off welfare. We need to get these people, they're poor for their own, they're poor because it's their own fault. They're poor because they don't work hard. And at the same time, let's take them off food stamps. But Elon Musk himself is on government food stamps. The reason why Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and all these tech bros are so wealthy is because of what Obama signed. The jobs program, Jumpstart Our Business Startup for the tech industry. That's what it was. The Jobs Act. The Jobs Act in 2012. It made it easier for them to raise money through crowdfunding and through IPO. The Leahy-Smith Investment Act of 2011. The Tech Hire Initiative 2015. The National Robotics Initiative in 2011. Going back to 95 or 94 when Bill Clinton had the government pay for all the fiber optics to be laid all across the country. Every Elon Musk's wealth is dependent, and not just the United States. He's dependent on China. He's dependent on European investment, and you see the fact that he can't, he's getting investment from South Africa, but since South Africa has laws that helps out people who are victims of the apartheid state get access to capital, he spends his time on Twitter fighting those laws. His whole life is dependent on government titty. But as long as he can get his people focused on black people, he gets to steal the money. So what am I saying? What are we saying about this? I see a lot of y'all saying that y'all surprised, and I get surprised. Look, y'all, do not feel sad. I promise you at least 5 other black boys got thrown in prison for something similar just in the last 2 weeks. Okay? Let's not get sad. Let's get focused. This is a time for us to figure out more permanent solutions. This is the world that we live in, Jack. This is America, Jack. Let's get focused. And let's talk about options. Since there was an all-white jury, not of his peers, I'm sure he can appeal and win an appeal and get a new trial, I'm sure. Let's see what the white folks at Fox News talking about. Oh, they ain't got no audio. This is Fox News outside the courthouse. Yeah, we got to look out for each other. Yeah, we better off focusing on the blackout. And here's the thing. We don't have to... I get why people say boycott Asian businesses. I get it. My focus is buying from black people wherever I can. And as long as I focus on buying from black people wherever I can, that alone minimizes my interactions with other races, because Asians aren't just, it isn't just, our problem is 360 degrees, man. Our issue is Asian businesses. Our issue is Latino businesses trying to push us out. Our issue is white businesses. Our issue is these Indians. Our issue is these Persians. Everybody that comes to our hoods, into our neighborhoods, exploits us. Everybody. The focus is to buy black wherever and whenever possible. Be affirmative. We can't. That is one solution. One solution is to get off your heels and get on the balls of your feet. When I play football and play basketball, everything happens on the balls of your feet. That's how you stay agile. That's how you move. Ball of your feet, not on your heels. You decide where to go. You got the ball in your hand. You decide which gap to hit. Running back. You got the ball in your hand. You decide where to take that shot. You got the ball in your hand. You got the tennis racket in your hand. That motherfucker coming your way. You see the defense right there? You decide to slice that motherfucker back right and make them run. Shop with ourselves wherever possible. I think that's the clearest solution when it comes to how we spend our money. Buy black when possible. We are under enemy lines, and it's impossible to buy black all the time. That's just not what it is. You only gonna have a handful of black gas stations. If it's not practical to drive to 30 minutes to the other side of town, then don't. Because this is what happens. And I've seen people do this. They'll say, well, man, I was going to the black, I'm going to the black gas station and it's 20 minutes away. And that happens, but that happens for like a month, couple weeks. Then you get burnt out. You can't burn yourself out. I'm going to buy my clothes from these black folks. I'm going to buy this, but hey, all the gas stations around me are Arabs and this and that. Gotta go. Asian food, yeah, still. I don't eat Chinese food anyway. That's not a thing. Like I didn't see my first time eating like chow mein was like during the pandemic, like right after the pandemic started. And I went on like a little Chinese food kick during the pandemic. Like I got into chow mein and like, but I don't eat that shit. I don't like rice. Fried rice is nasty. All rice is nasty to me. Fried rice, jollof rice, red beans and rice, all that shit nasty to me. White rice, brown rice. The only rice I fuck with is Jerry Rice. Hall of Fame receiver. I love Jerry Rice. I like Simeon Rice. He was a dope-ass defensive end. Glenn Rice. When Glenn Rice was on my Lakers, we won that championship in 2000. Glenn Rice had the perfect shot. Remember, he used to keep his elbow straight. Boom! Glenn Rice. Outside of that, I don't really fuck with Rice like that. So that's on y'all for that whole Asian Chinese food boycott. I don't eat that shit anyway. Because I had somebody in the comments, my last show, they were like, Dewan, you didn't bring up Asian restaurants. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't eat at restaurants. I don't eat there. I just don't like that kind of food. I'm fat off pizza and burgers, nigga, not off no goddamn Asian food. All my weight come from pizza, nigga, burgers and wings. Nigga, I love my wings, nigga. Give me my wings and fries. That's where my weight comes from. I ain't got no red beans and rice weight. I ain't got none of that. I ain't got no chow mein weight. I ain't got no goddamn Asian food, kung pao chicken and shit. I don't know. I don't eat no fucking Panda Express. That shit look nasty to me. So to that person that was like, Dewan, you didn't bring up Chinese restaurants. Sorry, I don't eat there. I couldn't think to bring up what I don't do. Shit. Sorry. I ain't talking about nothing here. Let's see here. Let's go back to court.
It is the trial that the nation is talking about, a case which has divided the community.
Old one.
First on racial discrimination and jury selection. So that's going to be an issue that goes up through the courts, and I can't say for sure how that will turn out.
Yeah, it's me, Marco. I got a buffalo wing issue, nigga. And black folks is the ones that came up with the buffalo wing sauce and all that shit. That's nigga food. My problem is nigga food. Black folks created the first cheeseburger, right? Huh? Black folks, we're the ones who popularized the cheeseburger. I like black food. Nigga, I was at B&R yesterday over in Hawthorne. And got myself a turkey burger or something. Shit. Yeah, they want us to clash out. Let's see what this Frederick Douglass nigga talking about. What's this Frederick Douglass looking nigga talking about? Let's listen.
Any person, regardless of their color, in these circumstances, if you were to say both people were the same color or a different color, you know, the law would say, can you defend yourself in this manner or not? And so there's that issue to try to balance with. And, you know, the other issue, you know, is probably the argument, or there's the argument that, well, if a person of color, if there was a black juror on there, does that, you know, suggest that they would have seen it less criminal or not? And so, you know, the discussion, our verdict still would have had to come from 12 people.
Sure.
Would have had to have been a unanimous verdict. You know, we generally think of teachers as being mediators among disputes in schools. And being able to see both sides of it.
Teachers are evil.
So it may have been, you know, that for whatever reason, the state may have decided that wasn't the best type of juror for this type of case.
I guess that's what surprised me, Russell and Sean, because when you do think of teachers, you think of the profession, you think of someone who's going to weigh.
Let's see here. Okay, they're going to come in some courtroom coverage. Let's see CBS Texas.
And we understand that Frisco ISD, the communications department, has issued a statement saying our community has carried the weight of this tragedy for more than a year, and our thoughts remain with the impacted families, friends, and classmates. We respect the judicial process and will continue to support our students with compassion and care. We know this trial has brought strong emotions and deep grief, and we ask that our community continue to support each other with respect, sensitivity, and understanding.
That's from Frisco ISD.
Yes.
The school district.
Now, both of those students, both were Frisco ISD students, different schools,
right,
but both.
So here's another solution for us black folks. Here's another solution. And I think this is probably the most. I'm gonna open up the phone line, y'all. I'm gonna open the phone. Do y'all want to call in? I'm gonna open up the phone line so y'all can call in and give me your reaction. But here's one of my solutions too. And some of y'all may not be feeling me on this, and I doubt it happens because niggas is too emotional. But I think what'll help us a lot is just us getting quiet. Here's why I say that. And I want y'all to try this out. The next time you're around white folks or Cabbage Patch babies, I'm not gonna say white folks. The next time you're around the Cabbage Patch kids, don't say nothing. Don't acknowledge them. Have a good time with your circle that you with, but act like they don't exist, because at the end of the day, they really don't. Starving for attention. One thing about these people, they feed off of our attention. Like, our attention is gold to these people. To the NPCs out here. And the NPCs come in different colors. These people feed off of our attention. That's why when a black person says his opinion, that like this whole, a lot of that had to deal with like this Kendrick and Drake battle. Drake represents people from, and he's the champion of people not from our culture that are in our culture. And it's like they needed the acknowledgement of the culture. And when the culture pulled, y'all say y'all can have Drake and he'll sell 1 trillion albums without us. That's fine. Sell all the records you want. But he won't get the cultural stamp. Do you know how that bothered people from not from our culture? That still bothers people not from our culture. How dare you not give the stamp of approval to the person that we want the most? Our stamp of approval means everything. Our attention is energy and currency, right? Problem is, that probably won't happen because niggas is hella emotional. And the problem with too many black people is too many black people need attention from white people. That's a fact. It's Eminem too, right? Eminem too. Get silent. And if you're going to do something, then just do it. That's the big thing. I'm not telling y'all what not to do. Just don't be no dumb nigga like most of these niggas. Like, we need to crash out. We need to. Come on, everybody. Come on, everybody. You niggas need to shut the fuck up. And if you're going to do something, goddamn do it. Don't tell me. It could be effective. God damn it. Shut the fuck up. Attention-seeking ass niggas. We need to come together. We need to get a rally. We gonna meet on Crenshaw, and we gonna walk down to Adams, and then what we gonna do is we gonna get some Molotov cocktails, and then every gentrified home we go to, we gonna throw one inside the motherfucker. Man, shut up. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Dewan, it's Danae from Hawthorne.
Hey, what's up, Danae?
Nothing much. Well, I agree with you in terms of the strategy of silence. Silence is such an important communicator. Like, I don't think people understand, like, how powerful silence is and, you know, being strategic and moving, you know, in silence. And I think, you know, this is where we have to move with, you know, everything that happened with Cyrus, now what's happening with, you know, Karmelo. I think it's just important now because they are, you know, they're expecting us to crash out. They're expecting us to kind of, you know, go over and beyond of this. So we just, you know, every generation, you know, marching was a new, you know, phenomenon early on, you know, during the civil rights, you know, fighting back and rioting was, you know, something that we did like in the 60s and 70s. But this time around, we just, you know, we have way too many thought leaders, way too many people who have, you know, basically laid out the blueprint in terms of what we should do. We need to just start like copy and pasting and implementing the knowledge that Neely Fuller has given us, that Dr. Claude Anderson has given us, that Dr. Amos Wilson has given us, that Francis Cress Welsing has given us. We need to start, these people, we can't, didn't die in vain. Like, we need to start using the stuff that they have taught us before you and I were even born, and really start implementing it, because it works. And if you start to implement it, it works. So, I totally agree. And then one thing I also wanted to say, when we're spending our money with these non-Black, foreign businesses, we got to remember, in terms of what Dr. Claude Anderson says, that people come here to compete. And
right.
And we can't be fueling other people's economies. Like, when you're spending money with Asians or anybody else, you're fueling that group of people's economy, while your economy isn't working, right? So I can name 5 Northgate markets, one in Lenox, Hawthorne, Long Beach, Compton, and there was another one I saw the other day. That's a chain, Northgate Markets. People in LA don't know, but that's a chain, and so we just need to be mindful of that. So I just wanted to drop that a little bit, but I do agree with you in terms of moving in silence. But I have to get going, but I just wanted to drop that real quick.
Thanks, Danae, and thanks for all the work that you do out there in them streets, for real.
Oh, yeah. You know what, real quick, you did a reading for me, and one of the things that you said in my reading is I'm with the shit.
Yeah.
And it's true.
And you with it.
I am. I love it. I've been really immersing myself into Leimert Park, because I feel like that is the beacon. Like, that is the epicenter of Blackness in LA. And
it is.
We need to preserve that as much as possible, I have other thoughts about that I would like to share, but right now I have to get going. But I just wanted to say that real quick.
All right. Thanks again.
Yeah, no problem. Bye.
Yeah, y'all. Let me take this call. You ain't got to say every goddamn thing. If you're going to do something, nigga, do it. You don't need my goddamn cosign. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Dewan? It's John, South Carolina. I actually came up to you at the mic drop, Memorial Day mic drop, at the very end when you was packing up the little tripod.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on with you, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm chilling, dog. How about yourself? What's going on?
I'm doing pretty good. Just a couple thoughts here. I'm not gonna be too long-winded, but life, living on Earth, is a trip, man. It's a real trip, because it's like this is not a final destination, but when you're born in a certain world and belong to a certain community and everything like that, things do affect you whether you know it or not. A lot of people can pretend that it doesn't, but it doesn't affect you until it happens at your front door, it happens to your niece, your little cousin, anything like that, or to even you. So it's unfortunate. And like you said, man, like one of your streams a couple months ago, a lot of people, they take these things that these other groups do as personal. We really got to look at it as business. And so I do agree. I concur with what you said when you said just don't give them the time of day or anything like that. I still think this is an excuse to say, all right, if you a teenager, you in high school, you just let anybody put your hands on you, anything like that. You do what you need to do at the time and just trust it. Figure out the rest of the details later. Hope that people will rally behind you. If you got to use some kind of crowdfunding or anything like that, then take care of that. But yeah, you do have to continue to put things in place, but just gotta. People just have to continue to be educated on these things, to look out for them. Parents really got to, instill these things in their children, so that they know what to look for. Like some of our great teachers that talked about the areas of people activity and understand this shit is really not a game. But yeah, I think a good start, like you said, is just not giving folks these energy, and it's going to force them to, because we know marketers and all that kind of stuff, they're studying everything we do. We are the trend, we make the trends and everything like that. So it's going to force them to have to play a different kind of game, and hopefully a less lethal and violent game with us. But I think that's really about what I got to say with this situation. Unfortunate, not surprising, but you got to keep pushing and keep fighting.
Yes, sir, man. Thanks for getting us a call, brother.
All right, man. Take care.
Yeah, y'all. It's like we gotta grow up. Like, culturally, we're very emotional, and that plays to our favor in a lot of ways, and it plays against us in a lot of ways. It plays to our favor in our ability to entertain. It plays to our favor in our ability to do a lot of things. But in reacting, there's a smarter way to react. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, yo, what's up? This is Dwayne, man. I'm calling out of Tennessee.
Dwayne from Tennessee. What's on your mind, brother?
Not much, man. I just hate it for the little brother, but man, I've been saying the same thing. And I remember I called Marcus Smith show, man. He was going, "Oh, you were cool, cool." I'm like, "Look, y'all, that's not the law." And you gotta understand when you walk out your door, you gotta be on some military shit, because these niggas done got comfortable, with the white folks and let them come all to the hood and thinking they their friend and thinking we on equal ground, but you're not. And the most dangerous place is the school system. So
Oh
you know
my
what I'm
God,
saying?
you hit the nail on the head.
But yeah, I try to tell him, man, like, look, I had a niece in Texas, bro, and this is real true. And she graduated with one of the highest GPAs. She go to Texas Southern now, doing speaking Chinese, Mandarin in school, taking college courses. Dude, the principal was bullying her so hard that she was talking about some suicide. So they see your kids and they know we're not gonna let your fruit grow up and this and that. But man, I feel sorry for the brother, but I just wish we would learn the law. I know you and Zoe, and I know y'all in the same circle, but that brother Kev that be doing the law packages, whatever, well, niggas need to get into that. You got to know the law. And see, the white folks know the law. They know that I can provoke this dude emotionally. Long as I stand on this side of the law, he does that. I got the right to kill him. You know what I'm saying? And it's sick
I'm
people
gonna say
like
this
that.
to that, and I 100,000% support Brother Kev. I love Kev Channel, and I do agree with what you said partially, and this is why I say partially. In some ways, you're giving them too much credit. Most of these people are dumb and they don't know shit. They know one thing, though. They know whatever the law states, they're white and they're immune from it. That's what they do know. We don't want to give them too much credit like they just know this law. No, most of these people are dumb and they messed out. Like I was at a party this past weekend. We were just talking about one of my friends. She was in Canada for the last month, and we're talking about all the meth that was up there. And I was talking about like driving when I was up in Seattle last year, and when I was driving, I like taking road trips. Me and my wife, we take these. I get in my car and drive 2,000 miles like that, just to roll.
Gotcha.
And in all these towns, these people are methed out, they drugged out, they losing their shit. All up and down the 99 highway in California, you got Sikhs and these people kicking all them out their neighborhoods. In Orange County, where it used to be completely white, it's all Filipinos. It's everybody but white now. They getting displaced. They don't know shit. They dumb as fuck. And a lot of these people are methed out. They don't know shit. But they do got that one thing. And I do agree. And I'm saying this to saying I still agree with you in the fact that we do need to know the law. I'm not saying we don't. You're 100% right. And so is Kevin. But I'm just saying don't give them that much credit. These motherfuckers dumb as hell. They just know that they know that whatever the law is, they're white and it doesn't matter. That's the thing that they all know. But go ahead.
That's true, and I was just gonna get to that because the whole thing with Zimmerman that didn't work. It's pretty much the same thing from Carmelo to the white dude that got killed, Metcalf, and it's reversed with Zimmerman and Brother Trayvon. If what y'all saying with Melo, if Carmelo should have been convicted, George Zimmerman should have been convicted twice because you saw the guy with a gun, went up there with a gun after 911 told you don't fuck with this dude. You went up there, he defended himself because he was scared for his life as he should have been, But what, like you said, they got that goddamn law on their side, even if they are messed out. The judge messed out with them. They touching on their daughters, but they get to do that because they white. See, we think that apply to us, and we don't understand that. Look, bro, we still fighting for the same shit that we were fighting for in the 50s and 60s. As a matter of fact, we had more in the 50s and 60s because we were together. There was no welfare. You had men in the house, and we were just together, man. But I feel bad for the brother though. But I ain't gonna hold you too much, man. I like your show. I like what y'all doing, man. I mean, I like the way you talking about it. You ain't just all emotional like everybody else and, we go ride, we go tear the stores up. Now, what we need to do is stop shopping at them damn agents. I'm really been promoting that.
That's what what we can do. That's what we can
do. Control. Yeah, the focus on the stuff you can control, man. And they making videos. We dare y'all to boycott it. Y'all girls can't go without the hair and the nails and da-da-da-da-da. So instead of all them damn deep throat challenges, how about we start a black economics challenge, man?
Man, real talk, man.
I'm going to land the plane on that one, though. All right, man. Take care.
Yeah, man. Like, relax. Breathe. Do y'all know? See, This is why we created jazz. 1 second, caller.
All right.
This is why we created jazz. Right here. What we're going through right now is exactly what we were going through 100 years ago when we created jazz. Jazz is a sonic interpretation of life, emotions. And what jazz does is it cleanses you. It cleanses your psychic, or it cleanses like your psychic field. That's what jazz does. It gets your mind off of the things you're being forced to see, and it puts you in a relaxed enough state to move and do things. You can't do things when out of emotional reaction and emotional rage. When you rush in response, you end up having the Patriot Act. That's an example. 9/11 happened, even though we all believe that was orchestrated. 9/11 happened. They rushed us into response. It was these people. It was them. It was them. It was them. Sign the Patriot Act. And out of fear, you like, yeah, they scared. Oh, I'm scared. Yeah, go ahead and sign it. And now the Patriot Act was 25 fucking years ago, and we still living in that hell from that law. That's what happens when you act out of rage and emotion. You end up letting them get away with signing a fucking Patriot Act on your ass. But going back to jazz is a way to detune, because you get solutions through relaxation. And our music greats gave us the tools. Other cultures know exactly how to use Coltrane, especially the Asians, especially the Japanese. They know exactly how to go to Miles Davis, Herbie Hancock, to woo-sa and be strategic about what we think. We got it already. We just got to use it and stop all these hip-hop top 5 fucking arguments and use our music instead of fighting over it. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what up, Dewan? Man, it's Jeff calling out of Dallas, man.
What's up, Jeff? What's on your mind?
Chilling on it, man. Chilling, man. I kind of already knew the fix was in, man, when we found out that the judge was cool with the kid's dad, man. You know what I mean? So, like, if they let this play out like a psyop, like an old Jim Crow movie or something, man. But from a spiritual sense, what I'm seeing is for that tool to do what it did, it had to be almost miraculous how it got to that point and did what it did. So that's another symbol subconsciously to let them know, like, hey, even though, you know, it's something bigger than both of them that made a statement as well. Mm-hmm. So I think you're totally right, as well as keeping you cool and just stay quiet. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times that's what people get scared of. As far as like the boycotts and all that kind of thing, man, I think education, and you're doing a great job as far as like the music, but there's so many facets to it, and I think that's going to unify us. Mm-hmm. Because ultimately we all we got. So I just wanted to put that out there for the people, man, to not be too discouraged, man, because we are magical people, and as long as we stay in a unified mindset, I think things will prevail in the long run, man, if we just stay on code, bro. But I ain't going to take up too much of your time, Dewan, man. It's good talking to you again. I'm the dude from Austin.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, from Austin. Yeah, man. Good talking to you again, brother.
Already, bro, man. Y'all keep doing your thing.
Yes, sir. Call on back in, people. A lot of y'all been calling in. I only get one call and one line in at a time, so make sure you give us a call back. Hey, chat room, I got rid of that beep about a year ago. Y'all happy? It's no longer beeping every time somebody else is calling in. Let me know if y'all appreciate that. Press number 1. I got to pay for a monthly fucking line to get that done now. The previous line was free, but I had to deal with that beep. What would I recommend? I would recommend, it's a nice warm day. I recommend Miles Davis's Porgy and Bess album for something like this. A day like today, listen to Miles Davis's Porgy and Bess album. Summertime. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Dewan? This is Myron.
What's up, Myron? What's your mind?
I think what you're saying about being silent is 100% true, because oftentimes on social media, you know, our elders always say, don't let the left hand know what the right hand thinking, especially all of it. And we do speak and say a little bit too much on social media. Also, the main thing, I think we need to understand that a lot of us was raised with the golden rule, but people don't recognize that the golden rule is a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? It says treat people how you would like them to treat you.
Yes.
So if they treat you with respect, that's how you should treat them. But if they treat you with disrespect, you match the same energy and do it exactly the same way. You teach people how to treat you. And so we have to...
By Max Roach. We had... This is called the Freedom Now Suite, and Max Roach released an album in 1960 that really kicked off the civil rights movement in music. Before R&B and before rock and roll had any kind of protest lyrics, it came out of jazz bebop, and this album was one of the albums that really spoke to the tension. So sometimes you got to get some tension out. This is a great album to get some tension out to. The We Insist album by Max Roach. But go ahead, Dana, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dewan. I wanted to chime in on the Karmelo Anthony. Those like them that sit at home and watch your behavior and write laws dictated on that behavior. So what are you going to do now? Yep. What are you going to do now for yourself? We can't focus on the Karmelos, the Rick Chows. All we can do is do what's in our power to do. If you're not going to shop at these stores, then don't shop at these stores. But get with other like minds and do something. What I really would like to see us do as a people, as a collective, is to come off the internet and be active in your community, in your area, with other people that think like you. That's the best thing we could do for ourselves.
That's real talk. Thanks, Dana, for letting us know that. And Dana's someone who's off. Thank you, Dana. Dana's somebody who's out there in the streets doing it. So she ain't somebody that's talking about it. She does call in, but I will also see Dana right there in the Leimert Park doing it. So, and that's the thing. A lot of people see all of this is what we need to do. We need to do. That's talk by people who ain't gonna do shit. I told y'all, we said back in December when we did our reading for the year what this year was gonna be like. Chat room, y'all know exactly what this very room right here that we in right now talked about this coming. The way to fix a lot of this stuff is we need strong individuals. We need a lot of strong individuals to band together with other strong individuals. And when strong individuals band together with strong individuals, we can create protections in an economy for the weaker individuals. But that requires you to do something when Karmelo Anthony's not in the news. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, sir. What's going on, Dewan? This is Khalil Roberts, man, up here in North Georgia.
What's up, Khalil? What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Unfortunate situation, man. I really feel bad for the brother, man. And I'm not gonna lie, it does hit, a wave of emotions when you see, young brothers go out like this, especially brothers who had a good track record. I really hate to see those type of things. You can't even really defend yourself in this system. And me, someone who actually traveled the road, man, I agree with you 100% when you say, man, these people aren't smart. They're not smart at all, man. I done traveled all over from the East Coast to the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast now, and me who go to a lot of rural areas, these people are not as smart as they are projected to be, especially through the media, man, and the ways. Now, there are a lot of them that want to test, especially us as black individuals when we go to these certain towns and stuff like that. So I always tell brothers to be aware, make sure you're on your P's and Q's and understand, like I think one of the other brothers said, you pretty much got to be militant minded whenever you step out, man, and And that's pretty much what I had to speak, man. I'm one of your Patreon members, man. So I appreciate what you do, bro.
I appreciate it, brother. Thanks for giving us a call, my man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Bro. Look at this, y'all. These are y'all arguing with the Cabbage Patch Babies.
World's fairs, they would highlight this whole baby incubation thing where they would basically be putting the preemies out as an exhibit in this like new baby incubators. This film is called The Over Incubated Baby, and it's from 1901, and it's a British film, something called a silent trick film. So as you can see, it's depicting a mother entrusting her infant to an incubator advertised to accelerate growth. In very strange advertisements, by the way. Due to an assistance error, the device overheats, transforming the baby into a bearded adult. Apparently, amidst all
y'all know the first film ever was about a Cabbage Patch Baby? This was a real part of American history.
1914, a little girl named May Pierstorff.
This is a real part of American history.
Produced systems for moving actual children in ways that were bureaucratic, commercial, and sometimes chillingly impersonal, difficult to ignore. Rescue was only one layer.
I'm going to do a whole Patreon series and a series on this. I ordered a book that I thought was out of print. I found a copy around the change of the century. Talking about these Cabbage Patch Babies. We're dealing with their grandchildren, people. I need us to like really understand who we're dealing with. We're dealing with grandchildren of Cabbage Patch Babies that can see someone murdered, that can start a fight, start some stuff, and then the minute someone defends themselves from their aggression, they want to see this Karmelo Anthony style justice. We're dealing with Cabbage Patch Babies, people. Not all, but a whole lot. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from? You there? Sound like somebody called in from the bathroom. I don't know what the hell they was doing. They was taking a shit. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Like, that's why I'm saying we need it in order. It's what Neely Fuller said. It's about the system. Neely Fuller laid the groundwork out. It's about flipping the system in all 9 areas of activity. But like what Dr. Claude Anderson said, that requires individuals to move locally politically, to move locally economically. You got to do all this stuff locally where you stand. That's why it ain't no move back to the South bullshit. It ain't no running from gentrification. It ain't no running to a new land. You better fix this shit where you stand. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Chris in New Orleans, Dewan.
Chris in New Orleans.
I got through, brother.
What's on your mind, my brother?
Look here, real quick, man. I agree with the Asian thing, the Asian boycott and all that stuff, and I agree with moving in silence. I think our people should do the ultimate boycott, and that would be to start quietly leaving these SEC schools and going to HBCUs, and that would generate a self-sustaining income for the black community. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, but the HBCUs are still built by the same people who built the white schools. They're built by the same people.
Yeah, but
like Jackson State, for instance, like when everyone was mad at Deion for leaving Jackson State. Well, it's still the state of Mississippi that was running it, and the state of Mississippi ain't shit. Like,
but listen, check this out. When we go to Southern on Saturday, Southern allows a lot of black vendors to come out there and make money. So even though the state of Louisiana would take, the top money, the money at the bottom would go to all black vendors and
you
stuff
also
like
gotta
that.
look at this.
You know what I mean?
Howard is being run by Nigerians now. A Nigerian placed an Asian woman over one part of in the music department as a decision maker.
Wow.
I mean,
I'm not surprised.
There is no and take this because I got a college degree and I didn't go to a HBCU, and I'm so glad I didn't go. I went to a white school and I learned exactly how these motherfuckers work when I was 19. So when I was an adult, I was fully prepared to deal with these people. Some harsh lessons.
Wow.
But I was able, but when it comes to business and when it comes to money, they who we gonna have to deal with. And me going to Cal State Northridge, my wife graduated from Duke. We were thoroughly prepared to deal with these people when we got out. I'm not saying don't go to HBCUs. I'm not even saying go to college. What I'm saying is our issues extend beyond college. We got all the degrees in the world right now, and it ain't doing nothing. Like Dr. Claude Anderson said, a degree is useless if you don't have a system to plug it into. What good? My college degree didn't get me shit here in California. I still had to end up opening my own business to make a little bit of bread because the only thing they was hiring for was security guards and bullshit ass positions. So I get what you're saying, but it's going to require us to have a more comprehensive thing than HBCUs because hell, what if your talent don't lead you to college? What if your talent is fixing things with your hands? You better not go to college. You better save that money. You dig what I'm saying?
And look, last week I was in Compton. I've been coming to LA for 20-something years picking up, and I was picking up in Compton, and that was the first time I seen some brothers on the yard where I was getting loaded at. I have like 3 trucks that I run out there. Oh, you saw a black man?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's a place called CCC Steel on East Victoria Street over there in
that's near Carson.
Right on the line there. Well, it's kind of like it has when I type it in, it says Compton, and then on my paperwork it says Rancho Dominguez.
Yeah,
but East Victoria Street, right by the freeway.
Rancho Dominguez used to be Compton, but that's an area where niggas own all the houses and make good money. So they separated from Compton back in the 80s and started calling it Rancho Dominguez because there was too many successful niggas there. Over there. They didn't want didn't want those stats going into the Compton stats. But go ahead. Yeah, HBCU. I'm telling you right now, I'm glad I didn't go to HBCU. If you don't start getting black culture until you get to college, you already behind the 8 ball. I was raised in South Central LA. Black mom, black dad, black neighborhood, black doctor, black church. Everything. My basketball coaches was black. My football coaches was black. I was black. It wasn't a damn thing. I had to learn about white folks because I wasn't around them. other than my teachers in school, outside of teachers in school, I didn't see white people. I had to go to Cal State Northridge, and I'm over here writing up all of these reports. And on my reports, I'm talking about what black folks need to do and how we need to do this. And when I write those reports, nigga, D. And I was a damn good writer, too, in college. I write about the rainforest and some shit white people like, the overfishing of the seas. Then, yeah, A+. If I wrote about, should we have labor in prisons? Should private prisons exist? A+. Should prisoners get paid more for their work? A+. Black people can liberate ourselves through working with one another. Well, DeJuan, you gotta, your grammar on this line right here wasn't quite accurate. And then when you said that, and I'm over here like, why? What's going on? Why? Then I figured it out about my 4th year in college. I figured it out. I was like, oh, because I had all liberal white women teachers. So, I was caught up in the sauce. I'm thinking liberal white lesbians, and I did have one liberal white lesbian that was a great Miss Nancy Grasshimmer. She was one of my favorite professors of all time. I love her to this day. So I had one liberal white woman we still cool to this day. But the rest of them, I figured that shit out in college. So when I got to real life, I knew exactly what to do.
Hello.
What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Oh, my name is Digital, and I'm calling from New York, man. But I actually live in Texas, a little close to where that incident happened at.
What's on your mind, brother?
And I just want to say this, man. I'm a black man, okay? And the thing is this, right? I think that people are painting this picture, to the extreme. Okay, so Karmelo Anthony, he came to that game, right? He's the captain of the football team, if I'm not mistaken, right? He's a 3.7 average student, okay? Not only that, okay, so, but they said he's a good kid, right? So if you got all of these things going on for you, where is your decision-making process, okay? If you're sitting underneath a tent, right, and you got a white supremacist, right, screaming at you 15 times, and it's raining outside, right? Yo, you need to get away from here. You need to get away from here. You need to assess the future outcome of this matter. Me, I would have got up and left straight up.
Quick question,
you know what
real
I'm saying?
quick. How old are you?
Go ahead. I'm 55 and I have a son.
See, here's and you're 100% right on what you would do, but you got to remember this: your prefrontal cortex is not fully developed until you're 26. That's the area of reasoning.
Listen,
so when you're
if you listening to your parents,
so when
you listening to your father,
I listen to you now. Listen to me. So when you can't speak from a fully functioning brain to a child that does not have a fully functioning brain yet. That's just
so. How in the hell does he have a 3.7?
I'm still
talking. How does he have a
3.7
grade point average if his frontal cortex is not fully developed?
All right, I hung up on him. Don't call in to me and start talking like a bitch. Now, let me answer that. I'm not about to go back and forth with some old ass nigga judging a teenage child. Children don't make good decisions. Period. Personally, when I was that age, I made pretty good decisions, I must say. I probably would have walked away because that's where my emotional intelligence was. But I understand that I'm not the world. Children don't make good decisions sometimes. That's just what it is. And just because somebody has grades doesn't mean they make good decisions. Grades equate to following directions, not autonomous thoughts. Don't be no stupid ass fucking adult thinking that grades connect to smarts. Grades are your ability to answer what's being asked of you. Grades are your ability to follow directions. Grades do not reflect independence of thought. As a matter of fact, grades are oftentimes in direct opposition to independence of thought. That's why they say C students run the world. Dummy. Don't call into my show with this all emotional, well, man, shut the fuck up. Who's next?
Nigga, this is proof what you just said is the truth, dog.
This is you.
Dog. And I'm going to give you some props, dog. And you know I hate to do that. I hate giving you props on anything. You are one of the smartest motherfucking people I know. And what was your GPA? Weren't you a C student?
2.55.
Yeah, exactly, which is 255 pounds less than your weight right now.
Fuck you, nigga.
Yeah.
Nigga, I was a 2.55, and I looked at my shit. My middle school was a 2.5, my high school was a 2.5, and my college was a 2.0. If I didn't take that one elective and got an A in that one elective, I would have been on academic probation and had to retake some classes to get my degree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dog. What is up with this influx of hoe ass niggas calling your show? You had Yale Man yesterday who was yelling for nothing, and you got this clown ass nigga. Hey man, you might want to put some fucking requirements on people calling in, dog, because that dog.
Larry, I got a new requirement. Don't be 55 talking about what you would have did and compare your decision making ability to a fucking 16-year-old. How about that? That's the minimum requirement. If you got great chins, don't go around talking about your decision-making ability versus a teenager. That's requirement number one.
Dog, when I was 17 and I was in the throes of passion with a young lady, you know what my go-to move was?
What?
It was PYDO, pull your dick out. You can't do that in 2026.
Right.
So why are you comparing with, man, I hate, man, niggas. No, not all. That nigga's stupid. But back to it, dog. I had to call in because I see my boy getting heated.
Dog.
Hey, Mad Dewan is the greatest shit ever, dog. It's the greatest shit ever.
Dog, because it's like that, but you know me, Larry, we've had these conversations offline. We've had these conversations when we both were under 40 years old. When we both were under 40, we had this conversation when I said things like, I'm tired of people our age talking to the kids as if they have what we have in our head. We only got what we have through experience. And you can't take somebody who, at the time I was in my 30s, you can't take somebody with 20 years less experience and say that they're stupid for not doing what I would do with 30 years more experience. Now, we had them conversations 10, 15 years ago. That nigga older than both of us. Well, what I would have did.
What I would have did is, nigga, shut up, nigga. Yeah, dog. I hate to say this, dog. The writing was on the wall. We all kind of knew that something like this was going to happen, dog. So if you got kids, if you got children, please, show this to them. Show this to them. Don't keep this kind of shit away from your kids. They need to see this kind of shit.
Yeah, your kids need to know this is going on.
Yeah, they need to know this is going on, dog, because we're all one bad decision away from being in the same predicament as their young brothers in. So, keep your kids educated, and don't be a hoe ass nigga calling into a fucking broadcast saying what you would have done at 17 when you goddamn near 60, you fucking ignorant ass nigga.
Man, and honestly, to tell you the whole truth, Larry, honestly, the only reason why I ain't whipped your ass is because it'll be I've been sitting all this stuff with ICE, and I'm an American, and you look like you from the Taliban. That's the reason I ain't beat your ass yet, because I'm like, man, they'll probably throw me in jail for whooping a foreigner's ass and call it a hate crime.
I mean, whatever makes you feel better, but the only reason why you've never attempted is because you've looked me in the eye, dog, and you've seen the toughest individual you've ever met in your motherfucking life, and you know how it would go if you ever raised a hand to me, boy.
Nigga,
I looked
in your eye, and I saw a nigga weaker than a fly.
Oh man, bitch ass nigga. Okay, dog. Y'all continue to support Dewan and don't call in with your hoe ass shit.
Right. Hey, yeah, that's one thing. Look, let me tell y'all a core principle of this channel. I don't pile on teenagers. I spent way too many years of my life working with kids, starting when I was 14, working with 7-year-olds, starting with when I was 25, working with 15-year-olds, when I was 30, working with 12-year-olds. I just got put back into the schools last week, 2 weeks ago, teaching the drums to high schoolers and middle schoolers. I understand the issue our babies have, our youth have, is these stupid ass adults. These stupid ass women talking about feminism and misogynoir and men are our problems while they got sons. And you stupid ass niggas going around talking about well, the kids are dumb. They wearing all them Nikes and they going around, and if they just stop buying Nikes and pull their pants up, that's the fuck our teens suffer from. Niggas talking about pull your pants up instead of guiding and leading, compassion, showing respect, and understand that even when you do that, you still can crap out sometimes. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
This is JP calling from.
What's up, JP?
Oregon.
What's on your mind?
First of all, I've been watching this crazy trial shit. From my understanding, is like we still stuck in that slave mentality. And what I mean by that is, back in the day, 1800s, 1900s, the slave shit, and then all the way up into the 2000s. So that done moved from century to century to century. And then how you're raising your household is still that master slave mentality. Black folks got released from slavery, and we still stuck in that racist mentality atmosphere, and evolved from generation to generation to generation to generation. And then in both households, black and white, still stuck in that. We haven't released our minds. We're still in captivity. And then we still stuck in that mind frame until we get out of that mind frame of that slave mentality, as in being told what to do. And what I mean by that, your grandparents, your grandparents don't tell me what to do.
listen to me, you have no opinion. And then when that happens, if you try to voice your opinion back to your people, your mom, your grandparents, you get slapped, you get whooped, it's a slave mentality. So us as young men, we don't have a say. So generation, it goes down generation to generation. Our mind is still captive in that still get captive year after year after year. Until we get out of that slave mentality, we can't move forward to the next generation. We can't get money like we want to. It's always going to be black, white, told what to do. Don't. I'm better than you. All kinds of shit. We still stuck there. We as get out now.
So what's that's the problem, brother. So what's the solution? What is we just? What's something you can tell the people? What do you think?
We got to figure out how to get. Everybody has a voice opinion. Blacks, whites got to talk. They got to change the legislators. They got to figure out a way how to get out of this leg. We're still stuck in them days. Until we figure out, we gotta talk. We gotta communicate.
But thanks for giving us a call, my man.
We gotta change.
I got another call coming in. Thanks for giving us a call.
Okay, thanks. Have a good one.
Yeah, he said you gotta figure it out. Said it about 20 times. Figure it out, niggas. Figure it out, motherfucker. But yeah, salute to that caller right there. Salute to him. You know, right now, people are concerned. Like, look, cruise control. I saw you earlier in the chat saying that you still feel a certain way. And I'm not saying don't feel that way. You have to process your emotions. You have to let it out. That's why Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly album is so important. That's a good album to listen to. Why would you pimp a butterfly? You know? How much a dollar costs?
From you, nothing less, nothing more. I told him I didn't have it, then close my door. Tell me how much a dollar. But I get why, you feel that way, man. But you gotta relax. You're a boxing instructor. The relaxed fighter is the one that wins. See, the problem is niggas here relax and don't be emotional. Not you, Cruise Control, not you. I'm talking about other people, not you. This part isn't about you, Cruise Control. This is more so about the person that was calling in all angry a couple of callers ago. They think if you over here going rah, 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 you're doing something. You ain't doing shit. All that rah, 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 rah talk, you ain't doing a motherfucking thing but rah, rah, rah. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what up, man? This is Thoughts. I'm calling from Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man. I want to say, piggybacking off of what you were just talking about when it comes to the youth, man. Again, this is a sad sign for the youth. It's like you can't depend on the people around you. I feel like, because I followed the case to where, like, I'm watching people who actually went down to the courtroom and I'm listening to them go through the testimony of everybody. And from the outside, I can tell the defense did not, like, it didn't even sound like a defense. It almost sounded like the defense was working with the prosecution team and the judge. Before those pictures came out, I was feeling that because of the way that they were cross-examining and the questions they would ask and how they really were going in on points they should have went in on. It's like the lawyers was in on it, which means to me the family was in on it. I feel like his family there's no way in the world that my family's going to allow my defense to be that weak in a case like this where all the eyes are against you. You're not pulling out all stops. It's like they didn't even try. This was a quick ass case.
It was.
This was a quick case. You know what I mean? And they came back with that jury, that decision, quick as hell. It's like they were all in on it. So what were the parents doing the whole time? Did they get paid? Were they told to be quiet? Were they acting like there was no win in this? Like, I feel like there should have been, like, if I was Karmelo, I wouldn't have hope in shit. I wouldn't have hope in nothing. Which is sad to say, and I feel like that's why a lot of youth are like that. Going back to how the older people treat them, you know what I mean? It's like, this is our future. We don't look out for them right now. We don't try to nurture the trauma and the grief they got going on right now and stop minimizing what they could be possibly going through because they're young. We're going to be in for tough roads ahead.
Yeah.
Youth is the fuel right now. And men and women, if you're not already in the field associated with the youth, you got to find a way to work and advocate for them, whether it's just volunteering at a mentor spot or Boys and Girls Club or something. There's so many places out there where you can, spread your knowledge and build that connection between the youth, because the people in my age range from like 35 to like 45, I think we're the ones who have to mend that bridge between the sagging pants youth and all they got to do is pull their pants up and, by their bootstraps. We got to, that age range has to be able to mend the fence. We understand both sides. I understand the old school, way of preaching, and I also understand this new batch of kids we got. Like, we hate on them, but they got the energy we need. They have the passion and the soul that we always wanted, and the resources. We don't train them up right, man, we gonna be.
They just need guidance, man. They just need a little bit of guidance, man. Thanks for letting us.
That's it.
I gotta take these other calls, maybe not, but you're 100% on point, man. Thanks for the call.
No problem.
Nah, he's right. That's why I get short when it comes to talking about these kids. I'm back into the schools. Hell, I just met with some people, some business folks, to get my music curriculum and my education in these summer programs here in LA. To get my education in I'm working with other nonprofits, people who already have children, to teach them knowledge of self. And to teach them what this is all about, because so many homes are not teaching Black children what this is about. I see that. I've seen the gap. The school's not teaching it. The home's not teaching it. The home's not necessarily against it. They just don't quite know what to say. And then you also got homes that are against it. So what can I do? Oh, this is what I can do. I can mend the gap. Instead of becoming a teacher and getting fired for not doing my job, I can create programs that can go into these same schools and teach what's not being taught at home and in the school. And all of you have a skill set that you can do that wherever your skill set lies. People who are experts in finance, you guys have a skill set to where you can take this in to people and mend these gaps that aren't there. But again, that requires personal accountability. And most of these, what we need to do as niggas, are not personal responsible for shit. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Dewan. My name is Tish. How you doing?
What's up, Tish? What's on your mind?
Hey there. I'm calling from Georgia, but I'm originally from Arizona as well, Phoenix. I just wanted to hold some food for thought. I feel like we as Black people need to understand the risk when we're moving in today's society. One of our Black psychologists said that Black people have to have a necessary paranoia when it comes to living in society, and we need to be paranoid necessarily. So I think that when we go into these, other establishments, foreign establishments that are not Black establishments, or what I say Hebrew, non-Hebrew establishments, understand the risk. When you move into a neighborhood where there are no Black people, no Hebrews, understand the risk. When your child is going to a school where there are all, white people, understand the risk. So we as Black people need to move in this society evaluating the risk assessment. If I go into this white store, how is it going to affect my people economically? What seed am I sowing for the future? When I move into this all-white neighborhood, am I putting my children at risk? Because the moves that we make affect the community as a whole, because now, what happens is, God forbid, but if something were to happen to you, the whole Black community is up in arms, and it affects us all. Now we all want to get in the fight and things like that, but for example, when you're getting insurance, the insurance company is going to assess the risk of whatever you want to insure, or they're going to assess the risk of the policy. We as Black people need to assess the risk of anything we do in this country when we're not dealing with our people. Move to our own neighborhoods. Black neighborhoods are peaceful. If we keep them peaceful, and a lot of times they are. But again, we got to know that if we make certain moves, there could be certain results. And if you do take the risk, prepare your kids. Say, hey, don't be by yourself. This is how you got to move. Don't go out at night at a certain time. If you want to live in those environments or have your kids going to that school, then, lay it down for them, because like I said, I'm from Arizona. You really don't know what it's like when your back is against the wall, when you're the only black kid in an entire classroom, when you're the only black family on an entire 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. You know what I mean? So a lot of people that say, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. If you're not trained, living in black or white communities or whatever, being the only one, you don't know what that is like, especially when you know the history of how white people behave around black people. These people have not been trained after what happened during, you know, enslavement, black codes, hell, anything. They've never been rehabilitated. They have never went through any national reckoning. Nothing. They just were released straight to the streets. You know what I mean? So we have to understand what we're dealing with. Are we safe around them? I have no doubt that they're safe around us. They can move into our neighborhoods. They gentrify left and right. But are we safe around them? So please assess the risk. Also, don't judge how people will react. Texas, Arizona, California, we have to understand what that West Coast, I know Texas is the Southwest, so is Arizona, but we have to understand what that's like and be careful not to judge how somebody will react, because it's grown adults that try to make it out of those situations and find it tough to navigate. Grown adults. So let's instead make different moves, delineate and separate, and assess the risk wherever we go. And that's all I want to say, Dewan. Peace, brother.
Peace. You have a good one.
You too. Take care.
She right. Or she's 100% right, because, and also that also goes for people who live in neighborhoods where white folks is coming in. And that's why knowledge of self is so important. So these kids know time and place and where they are. I can't get too mad at some of these black kids. Why? Because if I'm going to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God, most of y'all parents don't raise your kids. Y'all send them off to school and y'all let the internet do the rest. You on your phone, you only talk to your kids, and this don't apply, let it fly. But if it does apply, look in the mirror. You on your phone, you playing PlayStation, and you're not really paying attention to your kids. You don't really tell them nothing. You talk at them, not to them. And the only time you talk to them is talking about something at school. How your grades? You need to raise your grades. Oh yeah, put your pants up. Those are wrong color shoes. Why your generation listen to that NBA YoungBoy? A lot of y'all be talking at your kids. So the thing raising most of these kids is the game. And what is the game saying? The game is saying black and brown. The game is saying, wait, we're all in this together. The game is saying racism is a thing of the past. That's what the game is saying. The game is saying pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And then in there looking for some kind of guidance and direction, they turn on a Charleston White. They turn on the Anton Daniels because they say you grown niggas watching them, and they getting told that they crazy. They turn on Kwame Brown, and they getting told that it's not about race. They turn on Officer Tatum, and they getting told by black men it's not about race. It's about them. Or they have some nigga like that dude that called in earlier. It's because you stupid. And so if a kid is raised by the game and you don't actively raise your child, they're going to think that all this shit is safe. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Why would they not think it's safe? If they don't have an active parent in their ear every day telling them what it really is. And again, that's why I created my programs. Because I talk about music, but I talk about society too. I couldn't go in and say, okay, let me get these grants from the city to talk about racism, white supremacy. I couldn't do that. They would no. But I can talk about music. And within talking about music, I can add in other supporting societal factors as to why things are the way they are. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name Ken, and I'm calling from right outside Chicago.
Ken, what's on your mind?
I got a lot on my mind right now, brother, because I got an 18-year-old son who just graduated from 8th grade. grade from high school. And when he was in 8th grade, he was a little nerdy kid, you know what I'm saying, in the comics and Minecraft and all that good shit. And he used to get teased a lot. So I ended up telling him, like, if you outnumbered, you find the equalizer, whatever that is. You pick something up and you knock the shit out of that person and you get out of the way. He actually did that. He was about to get jumped by these 2 kids, and he smacked one of these kids in the face with an iPhone. And he almost got expelled from school, but I took responsibility and I told the administration, what I had told him, because he had been getting bullied and we had talked to him about it. And the thing that's got me all messed up right now is because I know Karmelo's father probably said something to him very similar, and I know his father is fucked up right now. You know what I'm saying? It's hard when you know what I'm saying? When you got a good kid and you know that they've been bullied and you know these things and you try to help them and you try to give them the right things because of the things you've been taught. It's not always the best advice. So you absolutely right, brother. Like, we have to find a different way to communicate to these kids. I'm shaking right now, brother. I'm tripping right now because I know Karmelo's family going through it, but I know his dad is going through it real bad right now. And I want you to do one thing, and I'm gonna land my plane, brother, just to kind of help all of us that's listening to this, like, heal and get through this. Can you please read his cards to kind of give us a little sense of
Karmelo's cards?
Where he's going to be? Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I'll do
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Good idea. Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right,
man. You have a good
Peace
one.
to the family. Peace to the chat room. You too, brother.
Yeah. And let me say this real quick before I read his cards. You can do everything right sometimes and still lose. That's just a bitter fact of life. You don't stop teaching your kids to defend themselves. Going back to Bacon's Rebellion, they started taking guns away and making consequences for black on white violence going back to the 1660s. It was in the 1660s when they started making these kind of laws. These laws have always existed. These are common laws. This is common law. This is common law. And it's always existed. You don't stop us from doing it. You still got to be a threat. You got to always be a threat. I'm going to tell you right now, and I do not condone violence. But if 10 more Karmelos happen with somebody of another race harassing a black person and a black person saying, oh, well, I guarantee you something will change. They got a major numbers issue. I guarantee you. Okay, he went to jail. Next one up. If it keeps happening, something's going to have to be addressed. Because they're not going to keep taking the males. That's just something I'm saying, something that's my point of view. I don't condone violence. Take that however you take it. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on? I'm over here calling in from Jersey, man. How you doing today, brother?
Yes, sir. I'm doing good. What's on your mind, brother?
Yeah, man. I just wanted to talk about this Karmelo case, man. And it got me all the way upset. I'm over here at work. I just, everything about how the defense is just, how they just broke down the case and how they, really attacked any of these witnesses. I feel like they didn't put any kind of effort into it. I also feel like, especially when it comes down to schools, track meets, all these sporting events, there's so many cameras around, there's so many recordings of everything that just blows my mind that nobody has no footage of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing about it is the lawyer presented the case with Eddie saying 11 days before the event that they got them on camera, buddied up together, him and Karmelo. So you mean to tell me y'all got footage from that? Y'all can't find any footage from that day? Everything's just a race? You know what I mean? They didn't press too much of the issues. It's just, to watch it all unfold is just sad for every black person because, like, man, just no black jurors, no, the way the defense just rested in 2 days. They just took 6 days for the prosecution to do what they had to do, and then the defense comes up there for 2 days, and that's all they got to give us in a closing statement. Like, you know, I think we need to dig a little deeper diver into who this defensive lawyer is and what he represents, because we know there's a lot of white attorneys that like to botch cases, and it sounds like this is another botched job right here. So
that's a good point.
I just wanted to.
Man, thanks for giving us, Carl. That's a great point. Yeah, everybody that's been paying attention to the trial, they've been kind of saying the same thing about the lawyer. Because y'all know me, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I wasn't paying the closest attention, so I'm not about to come here and like I'm just the authority on things like I know, because I don't know. But for those of you who have been calling in, a lot of y'all been very consistent with talking about, and not just now with the verdict. I mean, just reading tweets and from people over the last week, like, what the F is this defense attorney doing? So there may be something into that. And for those of you so inclined, most definitely look into it, because I'm sure you'll find something and report back to those of us who aren't paying as close of attention what you find. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, my name is Jay. I'm calling from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
What's on your mind, Jay?
Oh, well, we're not happy, but this is a reminder that we need to be putting ourselves in positions of power. Whether it be attorneys, I noticed I've read something in the chat, you just mentioned that, where we needed to separate or something of that nature. But we need to have more black judges. We need to have our own system of judges. And I honestly believe in, there's a guy on Twitter, and I thought it was a joke. He talks about a black majority state where your governor, your lieutenant governor, your mayors, you basically have a 99 to 100% population of black Americans. And I found it very interesting because he was talking about Mississippi, Louisiana, which pretty much states that already have majority blacks. But at the end of the day, someone also mentioned in the chat voting, that we need to start voting. And this is a very important thing. We wouldn't have these problems if we got back to voting. We need to vote our people in. Not to say that there aren't people who will work with the system against us that look like us, but at the end of the day, we do need to be voting, and we do need to be putting people that look like us in positions of power. And that's you people, some of you people in the chat. That's all I have to say. Thank you, sir.
Thanks again, Scar. I'm not against what he's saying. I'm not against what he's saying at all. But I tell you this much, though. My cousin got put in prison for attempted murder and off somebody who broke in his own house. And come to find out, his frat brother lawyer worked with the black judge who was in cahoots with some major political stuff here in LA to put my cousin in jail. My cousin out now, but he served his whole time. And all this stuff is coming out, but I got some nice moves that I'm making here in the city of LA that I'm not going to go into the details of that story because I ain't trying to fuck up my moves. But when it's time, that story will come out. My cousin's going to tell the story. He's an amazing lawyer. He was an amazing lawyer. And there's some stuff that happened here in LA where he got set up and put in prison and served the full 9.5 years. Only to find out his frat brother, black lawyer, worked with his frat black judge, and that frat brother, black lawyer, is also now in prison because of he had some other stuff that he was going through. Now that frat brother who got my cousin locked up, now he in jail because he got caught up doing some stuff. And he was trying to lighten his own sentence and have my cousin go through it. But I'm not going through the details on that because, like I said, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I got moves I'm making right now, and I ain't about to fuck my moves up to tell you niggas a story that's already done. My cousin out, and he living his life now. But he lost 9 years of his life because of his black frat brother. These are Karmelo's cards. Off the top, you see that he's a 9 of diamonds. That means he's very complicated. But the thing that's highlighting me right now is that King of Spades that he has in his Venus. Well, this shows me that in Karmelo's cards, with the King of Spades, that's showing us all options are back on the table. See, what I can see already in Karmelo's cards, where a lot of Black America thought that okay, we were past a lot of things. We had moved past things. That's those Obama years were about. Those Obama years were telling us it's not about race. We're past race. Most of us got on code since Obama, but there's still a large amount of us who aren't. I would say some of us got on code since Obama. There's still an overwhelming majority of those who aren't. And what this case was to show you is we're back at number one. The reason why I said that, because the King of Spades is not only is it a highlight, anytime the King of Spades shows up in your deck, that means that area of your life is going to be highlighted and put out there for everyone to see. Venus is your lifestyle. And King of Spades encompasses all cards underneath and within it. So the lesson I see already through the cards is black people are being told all options are back on the table, which all options have always been on the table. All options have never not been on the table, but we've been living under an illusion that we've gotten past something. That goes back to all these Mark Lamont Hill, Roland Martin, Joy Reid types that say we've evolved, we've gotten past, progress, Obama, progress. All that whole Obama shit was all about progress. Progress was bullshit when it started. Okay? We're all being shown there's no fucking progress. Either the system ends and it gets replaced with a system of justice, or we continue to be on this hamster wheel. I'm saying that already in the cards. I'm gonna go further in the cards after this call. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm not trying to hold you up, brother. I just called. This is Ken from outside Chicago. I asked you to read that man's cards, and I told you I was over here shaking. And now I know why. I'm a 9 of diamonds as well. September 2nd.
Oh, y'all the same birthday.
So
I'm not different birthday, same card.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same card. I know what that brother going through.
Because as a 9 of diamonds, you're somebody that y'all 9 of diamonds test the water, but you don't test it to be antagonistic. You test it because you're a diamond. Diamond got to know, see, and feel. And through the experience of knowing, seeing, and feel, you know how to make your next move. So it's not a bad thing that you test, but it's kind of the way you move to get to your next level. Unfortunately for him, he's here. But here's one thing to help you calm down when it comes to that. He still has an appeal. This may not be the last. This may not be the end for him, the end result. Okay. But we are getting shown that this is a lesson that they're trying to throw a lesson for those of you out there who do test and do provoke to not do it. The key for us is to not. That's what they're trying to project. The key is not to listen. You still got to be you. You still got to do you.
That's a fact.
You can't let their fear stop you from being you and make you docile and make you panic and make you go into or do something crazy. You got to still continue being you, because what's true for Karmelo Anthony may not be true for you. You got to keep doing you. All right.
That's a fact, yeah. Absolutely. I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, black folks, we've always done something. And let's go back to operating in silence. I was on Ancestry, and I have a wall that I'm hitting with my great grandmother. It's like I can't get beyond my great grandmother, and she came from Louisiana to East Texas, and I'm like, why? So one of my family members who still lives down there in Overton, Texas. Y'all know I'm Texas like a motherfucker. My family roots at least. Overton, Texas, and also New London, where that explosion happened. I got family in Overton and in New London. And my family down in Overton and New London, they were out here a couple weeks ago. And I found out my great-granddad, my great-great-granddad, my great-grandmother's father, the reason why I can't find anything is because he changed his last name. And the reason why he changed his last name is because when he was in Louisiana, he killed a white man and had to move to East Texas and change his name. And we got a lot of stories like that. And that's why us as black people, that's why we have so many nicknames. We might need to go back to the nickname system. Peanut, Big, those names exist because if we had to put in some work, we had to be able to skip to the next town, to the next state over, and maintain our freedom. These are already encoded within our DNA. Defense and silence. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, absolutely. I was before I go into what I was gonna say, I was hearing what you were saying. I got a similar story that my mom said about that with my grandparents and all that stuff in South Carolina. and all that. And yeah, that's definitely true. With a lot of black people. But if you got grandparents, God willing, that's still around and stuff like that, you can ask them about it. But a lot of them really don't like to talk about that stuff. But yeah, that stuff is true. I wanted to ask you, with the boy, Anthony, the verdict that came in, like, he was found guilty on everything.
Yeah, they said he found guilty. I didn't see it. I didn't see what they say, but he does face 5 to 99 years. Is what I do know.
He's getting faced 5 to 99.
Yeah, they say it could be low as 5 years, as high as 99 years.
Oh, okay. All right. So, not to sound like that. It don't seem like it seemed like he's coming home. He be home. Now, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know, the verdict is crazy, but from the 5 to 99, he have a chance to come home. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean he's going to get 99 years. That means he could probably get released on some type of probation, parole, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because of his age and
they can reverse the
him
decision
being in
because
school.
it's an all-white jury, none of his peers. They can do that too now. Remember that?
Yeah, and that. They could go back to court for that and stuff like that. But I wanted to ask this. I really wanted to ask, like, how did this happen to the kid? Because I never really did the homework and the research.
Oh,
How
this
did
ain't
it-
the
how did
channel
it
for the
pop
details,
off?
my brother. I didn't get into the details because they're not about to get my attention. I got too many things to build, so I don't really know the details. I just know that the dude came over apparently when it was raining. He was under the tent. The corn-fed white boy told him to get out. He was bullying the dude, and he went boom bapped him, and then here we are. That's about all I know. I refuse to get into the
All right.
details because they can't have it. But thanks for giving us a call, my brother.
You already know.
No, they can't have my emotional space. No, they cannot. No. This is a play that's being played out, man. And it's to reinforce the system. These folks need to feel like they worth something. They need to feel like they own something. They need to feel like white means something right now. Do you know Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and these oligarchs understand that if white folks lose, if white society, we're talking about the Cabbage Patch Babies, not all white people, we're talking about the Cabbage Patch Babies. The only thing the Cabbage Patch Babies got, the grandchildren of the Cabbage Patch Kids, the only thing they got is the psychic benefits of whiteness. That's the only thing these Cabbage Patch Kids got. The only thing that a lot of these people of color got, they had to flee their homelands because there was nothing going there and they couldn't get it going there, so they had to come to us. The only thing they got is they have a superior position over black people. Understand the social hierarchy. These systems must be maintained through violence. So child gets to murder a black kid and get away with it. The black kid cannot defend himself against a white aggressor and get away with it. This is all about maintaining the social hierarchy. Look at Luis Mangione. You know, the one that went after the person that that killed the CEO of the medical company. Look at all the assassination attempts on Donald Trump. These people are mad. Look at what happened to Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk got murked by his own people. White on white crime. They're really starting to fight each other. Have y'all noticed that? These folks are really starting to fight each other. What do you do when they fight each other? Centralized hate around a black person. That's why you don't get emotional. That's why you calculate. Back to his cards. Oh yeah, his Mars card is 4 diamonds. That means a new home, not being home, being displaced. Because 4 diamonds is all about home. And Mars is challenge. That means challenge in a home environment, which can indicate a change in home environment. King of Diamonds and yeah. Yeah, I keep looking at that King of Spades in his Venus position. That means there's a lesson here. This is all about a social lesson. Don't get into these characters. And my heart goes out to Karmelo's family. It really does. It really does. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna still defend myself. Fuck out of here. Don't let this case stop you from defending yourself. Hell no. Do not let this case stop you from, and don't let this case teach your kids not to defend themselves. Got to be educated about this, man. We've been dealing with this for 400 some odd years. So don't let the BS. I'm gonna tell you this one last call. What's up, Carl? What's the name where you called her from?
Hey, the one. It's Amar from California.
What's up, Amar? What's on your mind?
Yeah. I'm gonna just say this. I mean, this case doesn't surprise me at all. And I listened to mostly a bunch of other people that actually told the truth about this case and stuff. I gotta tell you, this is like the Michael Jackson 2005 case all over again to me. I mean, but from what I heard, the defense was knocking down these witnesses one by one, like pins. And like the one kid that said he didn't know Karmelo, it turned out he did. They showed him like 9 pictures. Is that you up there?
And they keep saying that there's some video, but they ain't showing the video.
And then because people trying to discredit that one brother, oh, he's lying. I don't think he's lying.
Yeah, probably not, man. But I don't know the details that well, man, to know either way. But man, thanks for giving us a call.
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
the one.
sir.
Everyone just stay woke, be one.
That's right, real talk. They keep telling us it's a video. Where's this video? I'm telling y'all right now, if there is a video, that shit's gonna get released sometime this summer. If we don't go out burning things down the way they want us to, that video's gonna get released. And be like, you want to go burn something now? Burning things down was the appropriate reaction for 1992. It was the appropriate reaction for then. Not necessarily the appropriate reaction for now. Not necessarily. See, the thing that helped, here's the thing for the nonviolence movement. And that nonviolent shit from the 60s, that was the time for that too. It's not the time for it now. But let's talk about the nonviolent movement. What was the benefit of the nonviolent movement? Here was the benefit of the nonviolent movement. It heightened the contradiction. America at the time was in a geopolitical position where it was trying to establish itself as a moral authority. America, the United States of America, was post-World War II, post-Korean War, and they tried to establish themselves as the moral authority of the planet. And in establishing themselves as the moral authority of the planet, the nonviolence movement went in conjunction with violence, because there was a hell of a lot of shooting and shit going. America was at war in the 60s. There's a lot of people didn't, there's a lot of Americans, matter of fact, most Americans didn't put down their guns. Most Americans were not with nonviolence. So the nonviolence had the hot and the cold benefit of No, it was still a bunch of Americans who were all with the shits at the same time. Never forget that. Never forget, a large portion of America never stopped being with the shits. But this is what it did do. For a country that's trying to project itself as some kind of a moral authority, the nonviolent heightened the violence of America in the perception of the world. And it put worldwide pressure on the United States of America to change how it operates. That was the success of the nonviolence movement. It altered the perception of the United States, which gave the United States international pressure to change from within. It was the international pressure that pushed him to do what it did that was heightened. The contradiction was heightened by the nonviolence movement. I feel a strategic response can do the same. Can do the same. All right. But remember this. This all is happening at a time that these people are losing numbers. They're on meth everywhere. Where's Rocky? Right here snoring. Rocky been right here with me the whole time. You good, Rocky? Rocky been laying right behind me the whole time we've been live. How long we been live? 2.5 hours? Rocky been here the whole time. He right here. I hear you snoring, baby boy. But yeah, this is all about them getting reaffirmed their false positioning in America. We got to be smarter, all right? You get a card reading for me pretty soon. It'll be dope. Email me if you want a card reading. You dig what I'm saying? Be smart. Be smart. And if you're the kind of person that needs me to lay it down and tell you a step by step, I ain't the one. I don't really function. I don't function well with retards. When I say you know what to do, you know what to do for yourself. You about to get me goddamn my YouTube account suspended and the FBI raiding me because I done said some shit. All because I wanted to lay something out plain for an idiot? Hell no. You dig? But thank y'all again for listening. Donate to the foundation fundraiser. We got the fundraiser going on. We got the Black American Music Family Tree Foundation artwork at DewanB.com and all that good stuff. All right. Thank y'all again for listening. We'll be back at it later on. I'm out.